All right. Hey, Nick, if we got the music down. Nick. Woohoo. Thank you. All right. Riders, attention on the infield for a brief meeting, please. Attention on the infield for a brief meeting. Thank you.
We are still going to sit up over here on the circle with that protocol, even though the masks are coming off a little bit this week. Oh, please. I hear myself talk. Amara?
Yes, so with the vaccination, congratulations. You can breathe air. We are asking, I know this is weird, we are asking that you do take the extra lap. This is really laggy because we are staging in the infield. So we don't want you to come in super hot into the back of the staging field. And we actually have decent sized fields today. So when you come in, make sure you're nice and slow and you're all the way tucked in case they're not rolled out. We're trying to time it perfectly so that as you guys roll by, they're going to roll out. So that means as you roll by on your victory lap, when you come over here to the home stretch, get to the apron. That'll help the next group start faster. So as you roll around on your victory lap, come down to the apron, then they can start faster. Okay? Does that make sense there? Trying to think of anything else. Yeah, so we are still doing the staging. We're still working with the county, but the mask thing was a huge success. Woohoo! I know, it's all exciting. Yes, we're getting there. There's questions about food trucks and beer garden. Food trucks are coming. We're working on scheduling them now. Beer garden is messy with the guidelines. Essentially, once we get the all open, we're hoping we can get that. So looking at July, but oh my gosh, food trucks, we don't have beer trucks. Food trucks, like I said, we're working on. If you have some that you like and you know are flexible, give them to me and we'll try to reach out because we can have one as soon as next week. So we are working on that. Like I said, beer probably in July is what we're going for. All right, I think with that.
Okay, fours, please.
Got fours. Go line up.
All right. First group up, Cat 4s, please. Queue up on the warm-up circle, please. Cat 4s. You're up. Welcome. It's Friday Night Racing here at the Velodrome. Thanks for joining us. Either online, we're streaming live on YouTube and Facebook right now, or in person, of course. Why not? It's beautiful. It's June, and we're racing. We got Cat 4s up first. Category 3 men, you're on deck. We've got the Cat 1-2s coming up after that, and then women will be our fourth group in each of our race series tonight. We also got the Kidde Kilo back for 2021. Our first edition of the Kidde Kilos will be after the scratch races. For those of you that are here and helping out with the GoPros, we'll be trying to launch a few of those after the scratches. So during the Kidde Kilo, we'll try to get a couple of those attached and start it up to get some good action cam views of the racing. First group up, Cat 4 is now queuing up. We'll get this racing thing started in a moment as our officials will do the job of being the starters out of turn 4. And then I'll let you know how these races go while the riders are going around the track in the neutral. That's right. You can make some noise as they go by. Applause is absolutely welcome. Cat 4s are on the track in the neutral. Our riders go around one time before racing starts to make sure that they are nice and competitive in their positioning. No unfair starts here at the track. So neutral lap to start. Racing will start out of turn 4 as long as they're all still together. That's going to be on our left. If you're on the grandstands, there's going to be an official there with the whistle. It says racing is underway. All right, that's the sound that racing's underway. We got a scratch race going on here, so pretty straightforward. I don't have a lot to explain to you. You know how racing usually works? Who goes fastest wins. That's kind of how this works. So fastest rider over the total laps is our winner. An 8-lap race. It'll be over before you know it, a blink of an eye, and the Cat 4s will be sprinting for a finish. Looks to be Jacob Luna on the front of the field right now. Number 416 for the Jerry Baker Juniors is our field. Happy to be on the wheel. David Gilchrist at the front as we come into the home straight, looking around saying who's going to take the front next. It's a short race. Already seeing 6 to go. So riders are thinking already about the finish. As soon as they started, they're thinking about the finishing sprint. It's going to be over in a blink of an eye, like I said. They just saw 6 to go and kind of bunching up as they came across the finish line that time. Pretty typical out here at a velodrome for riders to take no more than about a half lap at the front. Unless they're really trying to pull pace and do some work and hurt the other riders with their effort. If you're going to be efficient, you take about 200 meters and pull all the way. As our Californian up here in the blue, one of our junior competitors making it up the coast. Odin Thordarson pulls out of the way. There we go. Riders coming out of turn 4. That's Benjamin Flom on the front in the orange and the black. Look out for him. He's been very active in the early season in this field. So I want to keep your eyes open. The field knows it. I'm not educating them. I'm educating our spectators out here. Seeing 3 to go as our field comes in the home straight. Still all together. This is going to be a big sprint event for sure. So in the next couple of laps, where you are in the field is going to dictate a lot. Wilson Turk in the first strike velo, black and white, wants to move a little early. So moving off the front and bringing a couple riders with. Nobody's wanting to let this get away. It's too close to the finish, and everybody can sense the finish line just a couple laps away. If you let this go now, it'd feel pretty foolish to miss out on the sprint. So it looks like Turk's brought it up to speed and still pushing. Field lined up as Flaum and Ritter, the two riders lined up behind him. I also see Gilchrist, Peter Gilchrist, the fourth rider in the group, in the black and blue of the juniors team. And now the drag race is really about to pick up speed because coming around the corner, we're about to hear the bell for the 1 to go. And here we go. It's 1 to go. Flaum on the front. Next time around, we'll find our winner. The Dixie Flyer on the front is moving quick. He's won races like this before. He is a hard force to come around. He's just going to set the pace all the way around the track, and he's been there for more than a lap, and it looks like it's going to be Mike Ritter just trying to hold on. If he can get on the rear wheel, he has a chance. Ritter in the pink is coming in. It's going to be Flaum and Ritter. Ritter trying to hit the pace. Can he get it? Flaum holding on. It's not going to be enough. Flaum takes the lap and the victory. Ritter and Spranger will come in 2-3. What a ride by Benjamin Flaum. He's looking strong in the early season. Just can't come around the top. Cat 3s are set to go in a moment. On deck, category 1-2 men competitors. All right, category 3 men competitors also for a scratch race and 12 laps showing on the lap cards for our second field tonight. So the rules will run the same, just a little bit of a longer format for our next category. Again, on deck, Cat 1-2s, be ready. Right around 4 or so to go, should be in that warm-up circle ready to hit it so we can get you queued up and going. Kidde Kilos, we're getting there. We got 3 more races to go, and as you saw, they're pretty fast. These scratch races don't take too long. So we'll get you guys on the track here shortly. That's right, our first Kidde Kilo in 2021. Still time to get registered over between the grandstands. If you got a little kid here with a bike and they want to join us, push bikes, training wheels, it's all good. There's the sound of the whistle, and we're racing. Seeing 12 to go on the very first lap. That'll be Carl Pratis wearing the black and blue. That's right, I keep talking about him. We got a junior team here, so good night to talk about it with the Kidde Kilos going on. We do have a junior team, and we have junior programs here at the track, not just fun and free racing, but we also have some serious training opportunities for kids that want to have some sort of a athletic outlet in their community. A growing team, over 30 riders now, I think 36 strong last count, in partnership with the Jerry Baker Memorial Velodrome, the Marymore Velodrome Association, and of course, the parents of the junior team. Seeing 11 to go, 11 to go. Snoblin. I didn't ask him before the race if I had permission to use his new nickname. Our field on the back straight, pretty bunched up here in the middle. As riders that are doing extra effort pull off the front, you'll see the speed kind of adjust if riders aren't willing to keep that pace and want to rest a little bit longer. Lap card showing 10 here. Again, a fast race. You say it's 4 laps longer than the last one. How is this still short? Well, anything under like 20 laps is a pretty quick race. And these guys are going to keep the pace up for sure throughout these 12 laps. Somewhere at some point in the next couple of laps, there may be an opportunity for somebody that wants to try to get off the front a little bit. After about, 3 or 4 more laps, those kinds of moves are going to become very difficult for anyone to pull off. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see this field relatively staying together, almost looks like they're cooperating rather than competing against each other, because the point here is to be efficient, keep it fast, and set up for the finish. But some of the riders in here are definitely looking for maybe an opening or a window to move out. We'll see. Carson Hedrick in the blue as the rider just pulled out of the way, giving room for the lineup behind him. Now starting to stretch themselves out semi-single file. Everybody's looking for a wheel to be behind. John Levi, the responsible accelerator on that lap. And they see 8 to go as Peter Snoblin takes the front. That's the rider in the white and black with that orange frame. He turns around and notices that he has one in the hunt. That's going to be Henry Kaiser, the laser, trying to hold on for this attack from Peter. Snoblin does have a new sort of target on his back after lapping the field last week. A lot of these riders, remember, he can go the distance, so there's certainly a couple when said, oh yeah, we probably should do something before this gets too crazy. Henry was quick to respond, and as soon as he catches it, look at this. He's not interested in being off the front. He's interested in keeping Snoblin in the field. So he catches his quarry, and then they both fall back into the formation. Now, the benefit for Peter in this case is that someone had to do the work to catch him, and the whole field had to accelerate. That's still effort expended. So keep that in mind later as we're going to see this thing continue to widen down towards likely a pretty large group sprint. We'll see. The pace starting to take a bit of a toll at 6 to go. Five to go, and once again, Snowby's on the move. The rider in white and black loves to push off the front of this field. Every time he can find a bit of open track, he's going to try to take it. Carson Hedrick this time says, I would like to stay with this, as does Henry again. And now with a group of 3, there's this little valley you can see between the front 3 in this field. That might just be all they need to encourage them to keep riding hard. Kaiser does keep on the pedals as we see 4 to go. A couple riders at the front of the field not really anxious to go catch this down, and this is allowing a slight opening. You can see it beginning to form as Gene Wainwright now at the front says, I'll do some of that work. I'll see if I can reignite the fire a little bit here. But still our front 3, as we see coming out of turn 4, is the front of this race. Snoblin looking over his shoulder, trying to estimate that distance. At 3 to go. He's got a nice little gap still, but it hasn't opened up much since the last time he checked. You got a good view of it over there in corner 1 as our riders oftentimes using that area to swing up and swing back down to use the force of the track to deaccelerate and then reaccelerate quickly. Helps them reposition themselves with less effort. And the field's starting to catch here. A couple riders catching at least as we're starting to break this up a little bit. This is going to become a smaller sprint than I anticipated at 2 laps to go. We've really stretched it out and the speed is not dropping down. So this is pretty interesting here with just about 6-7 riders now making up the front group. Next time around will be our bell, and we'll find out our winner following that bell lap. Snoblin on the front of the group again. A couple of juniors locked in behind him as I see Pratis and Kaiser both ready to move. but not ready to start the sprint yet as we're going to bunch up a little bit coming out of corner 4, but they're about to hear the sound of the bell, which probably will encourage them to move it along. We're going to see 1 to go. Who's going to make the next jump? Everybody's waiting. A hesitation in the field. Coming through turn 1, the front of the race is still Kaiser, waiting for somebody to make a move. Excuse me, that's Pratis on the inside. Kaiser on his right. The rider in the black helmet's got a great position in the shortest way around the track. He's a fast finisher, but look out for the move in the field. It isn't over yet. Here comes Levi out of the group. Launching it down the hill in turn 2 and making a great move. Not seen until he comes to the front, and now rolling away with it. It's going to be Levi out the front. And whoa! That was a close one. Ooh. My eye gives it on the outside on that 3-rider contest for second place. I think it was Hildreth. Austin Hildreth through 20 unofficially might have picked it up, but it was awfully tight there. The officials will confirm later. I'm just rambling up here. None of the things I say matter for the official results. I just like to pretend I know what's going on. All right, Cat 3 is all wrapped up. Cat 1-2 is ready to get onto the track in just a moment. Women competitors, you'll be our next field to take the track. Then it'll be the Kidde Kilo. Category 1-2 men competitors on track now. 15-lap scratch race. Since you're going to see them a couple more times tonight, just real quick for those who may be new to watching these kind of competitions, these categories are related to our athletes acquiring upgrade points as they place well in the current fields they're in. That's a system intended to create competitive fields where riders of similar experience and speed are matched against one another. So by the system, the riders getting the whistle now are our fastest field of the men competitors, our category 1-2. And they'll also be given the longest distance on any given night. So that's kind of the way our reward system is. You get rewarded by going into a faster field that rides longer. Sounds like punishment for us non-athletic folks out here. But you know what? It's fun to watch for us as we got another great field of competitors today in our Cat 1-2s. It's Andy Baker, bib number 4, and our international Omnium winner from Saturday of last week. Some of those riders in the single-digit numbers will let you know that they placed very well in the Omnium overall 2 years ago, so the season points. So you can see bib 3 in there. John Bowie, one of the riders that also finished very high in the placings. Kenny Williams has got bib number 2 on. Carlberg's in there with number 1. So those are our top 4 actually in this field from 2 years ago in 2019 from the season points. That's something to kind of keep your eyes on. Those riders have shown a track record, pun intended. $13 to go. Nick Martinez gives way for Steven Wilson's rider 25 in the light blue with those green highlights. You can see him from over here very easily. And you can see the strategy is fairly similar in each of these fields. The pace is relatively quick early on. You can tell that because everyone's trying to find a wheel to be behind. But nobody's trying to really break this thing apart in the first several laps. It's a bit of a warm-up. It's a bit of an opportunity to get things rolling. A couple riders may be trying to look for an opportunity, but generally speaking, we're working cooperatively for the first couple laps to move it along. We see 12 to go. Andy Baker making a big move off the front at 11 to go, digging deep. Trying the first jump here of the night for the field to see who's willing to race. He has 2 ideas in mind. If they're going to let me go, I'll take it. If not, and they catch me, that's okay. They still got to work awfully hard to bring me back as he opened up a big gap coming out of turn 4, accelerating from the middle of the field and just kind of being sneaky. Sometimes the best place to attack from in these mid is right from the middle of the field. Don't come from the front where they can all see you. Get yourself up to speed in the back of the group and then come out to the front. Surprise everybody with that acceleration. The group of 3 has caught quickly. That's Brando, the rider in dark green for Found Cycling, doing some work with a couple of riders joining him to bring Andy Baker back in. Keep him in check. The field a little bit broken up at the moment, but you can see there's a lot of energy being spent to bring it back together at the front now as the field now becomes our front group at 9 to go. The rider for Killer Rohrbach, Matty Hers, at number 15. Another one of those riders to kind of assist in the catch there. Pulls up to the right and is looking for a spot to rest. The draft is an important part of all sorts of racing. It's important in automotive racing. It's important here on the track as well. Finding a draft to be in an important part of the formula. So whenever there's a rider doing the work, you're happy being on someone's wheel. That's where going to be Wilsons and Baker coming onto the front straight now. Baker not done, making his attacks and making his presence known at 8 to go. That's Steven Wilsons that has joined him, and that can be a very dynamic duo indeed, as both riders capable of quite a bit of endurance. We'll see how they want to play this as the two of them continue to look very much like a team. Baker seeing 7 to go with Wilsons in tow, and Matty Hers, the next closest rider in this field. Turns to hope to see Martinez doing a bit of a pull to continue the speed here. It'll be Bowie that takes the responsibility, though. The rider in black and green for Liquid Velo now finds himself at the front. The distance has not appeared yet. This is not going down. It gets bigger as we go further on this race. So maybe these two have figured it out at the right time. 6 to go. Baker and Wilsons absolutely in a team pursuit right now. Each rider taking their half pole and being as efficient and fast as they can in the field, looking like they might be losing a little bit of their energies to catch the two. At some point, those two are going to decide they're far enough away that they're racing each other. At this point, they're racing against that field and getting benefit as they continue to whittle their opponents down to just the two of them. At 5 to go, Wilsons and Baker continue to open this gap up nicely. The next rider in the chase, also riding for Liquid Velo, is going to be Andrew Pryhuber, my goodness. The black and green. Pryhuber moves out of the way and gives room for his teammate, Bowie, to be on the front. It's still Baker and Wilsons coming through turn 4. The rider in white with the white helmet, Andy Baker, bib number 4. On the front again at 4 to go. Wilsons taking the back lap pulls, number 25, as they continue to be very efficient and threatening here to win this race unless the field does something about it. Matty Hers has been trying to re-energize himself, build up some energy, a little bit of steam, and now he's going to try to let that out as he goes down the back straight. He is doing a lot of work for this group. Hers pulls out of the way, and he's hoping Martinez might be able to continue to carry it on. It'll be Carlberg who's looking around and says, maybe not my turn either. It's going to have to be Brando for Found Cycling that's going to have to carry the load here. At 3 to go. That gap closed down a lot when Matty went to the front of it. Now we're looking at just a few bike lengths separating Wilsons and Baker, with Bowie doing just enough work to kind of cruise it in. Whew, they were away for a while, but just as we get into the final moments of the race, the field has found their two leaders. 2 to go. Baker and Wilsons have been snatched back up at 2 to go. 2 to go. Now it's the sprinters game. Who's given up the least amount of effort that can get in the right position to try to sprint for the win? It's going to be Martinez that's going to restart this thing. That's going to allow some riders to find a wheel to get in behind. Look out for Wilsons right behind him. John Bowie, who's had an incredible turn of speed early in this season, a great sprinter out of the pack, as well as Carlberg, bib number 1, our fast finisher and our fastest average time of the 200 meter out here in this field, all in threatening position for the one to go. Carlberg finds himself in the sprinter's lane at the front of this thing. He's got an impressive top speed from the leadout position. He's got Brando right behind him, Kenny Williams, and it looks like John Bowie kind of in the flank position as the riders are now getting up to speed down the back straight. It'll be Carlberg just having to ride the 200 meter faster from the front of the field. Nobody to draft off of, but the pure power, I don't know how you catch it at this point. Can they get back on it? It's going to be Carlberg coming around the corner. Carlberg from the front of the field versus Bowie and Brando behind him. It looks like it's going to be Bowie for second place. Brandon Russell, the dark green team, unofficially, I'll say, came across the line third in that close finish. All right, on the track now, our women competitors with 12 laps of scratch racing. And coming up after this, Kidde Kilos. We are ready to start staging you over between the grandstands. Reminder, the kids do need masks. Thank you. A reminder from our staff here. Again, Kidde Kilo staging happening between the grandstands. That's the next event up right after this race. We're going to bring out the kids. Masks on for the kids, please. We'll stage those between the grandstands on the home straight. Please leave a fair amount of distance between you and the swinging open gate there. Don't crowd the gate. You're going to have to back up anyways, so give some room so you have a way to get onto the track. Again, on the field now, our field out here right now is our women competitors about ready to start for their scratch race out of turn 4. And our racers did get the signal. They're underway. This is their first lap of the scratch race with Amara Edwards, Greg Cycles team kit on at the front. Expect to see something similar for the first several laps as you've been seeing in all the fields. We got to work these laps down. So let's get this thing clicking along. And after we get a couple laps down, then we'll start thinking about that sprint and what might happen there. At 11 to go, Darlene now the front rider. As Kelly pulls up to the right. If you're enjoying racing here today, you've been having fun in person, checking out this event, want to come out for some more racing, we are here every single Friday at 7 o'clock through the summer months. We've got, the only issue is if it's raining, we tend to cancel. Best way to see if we've done that is to check our Twitter feed or our Facebook. You can find us. Our online socials are pretty consistent. JB Velodrome. That's Jerry Baker Velodrome. JB Velodrome on the socials in case you're on your way to the park and want to know if racing will be happening or not. If it's sunny outside, you'll know we'll be here at 7 o'clock on a Friday. We also have other groups racing on Mondays and Wednesdays every week and occasionally racing on Saturdays and Sundays. Rather than explain it to you over the microphone, I would just point you towards velodrome.org/calendar. If you head to the calendar page, you can check out all the crazy number of events that are happening here. There's a lot of things going on, including some training events we've been putting on, classes that you can sign up for, and of course, the mainstay of our evening programs here, the race nights at the Velodrome. That's right, we're streaming live. We've been working hard to bring you a quality stream on YouTube and Facebook Live. Thanks in large part to the work and donations of our community to help support that work. We think we've gotten a pretty good thing going here. So if you're enjoying the online stream and you haven't done so yet, please leave a thumbs up. Subscribe to the JB Velodrome channel on YouTube, or of course, give us a thumbs up on Facebook. Share the video away with your friends and family and let them know that we're doing some cool stuff here in Redmond with our bike racing. If you're here in person, you can quickly get to that live stream if you're looking to share it with somebody by heading to the website velodrome.org/live, where you can also see results and you can see tonight's program all in one place. Once again, you can find results, the start lists, the program for everything tonight, and the stream all at velodrome.org/live from your smartphone right now. You can check that out. Share that stream with your folks at home, with your coworkers. Let them know where you're at. We appreciate any share and support we can get for the efforts we're doing on our online space. At 7 to go, our field's still all together, and again, taking their turns at the front. Each of our riders looking for an opportunity to just take about that 200-meter pole before they're ready to fall back into the line. Staying efficient and taking their turn is kind of the name of the game early in the scratch race. Last call for Kidde Kilo staging in between the grandstands. We will get the little ones started first, so youngins are going to be towards the front. We'll look for the little push bikes and all that fun stuff first, and we'll kind of do some age groups so we don't have too many riders on the track at one time. Depending on age, some of the riders might be going on the home straight. Some are going to take a whole lap around here. And if you haven't warmed up your hands yet, folks, as you have been cheering for the adult athletes out here, you better be clapping for the kiddos. Edwards back on the front at 5 to go. Lucy Gilchrist, all twos, 2-2-2, takes the front. And Danny, another one of our juniors, Danny Scoville, now at the front of the field. During the Kidde Kilos, Cat 1-2s, you have been requested to come over to the secretary to check in. Category 1-2 men have been asked to come over to the secretary to check in for helping sort out the finish results from your first race. During the Kidde Kilo, due to some technical difficulties, only the first couple of riders were placed accurately. We're going to be looking for Cat 1-2s during the Kidde Kilos to come check in with the officials over at the podiums. Thank you. 4 to go. Everyone's still together. Annette Williams now pulling up to the right. Gives room. A little bit of action at the front as it's going to be Darlene saying, "Who's this?" Ashley Hudson, the rider in red for Audi Crikey race team, taking the front wheel now. And she wants to get this thing moving. It's been sitting a little bit too stagnant for a bit too long. At 3 to go, time to put out some power. So Ashley's really hustling along now. Bib 207 looks around, is thinking about giving someone else the front. It'll be Darlene that takes it. Edwards and Nielsen, the two riders behind her, as the field has thinned, but most riders still up here with the speed of Ashley Hudson's acceleration on the previous lap. Edwards and Darlene both pull up. Nielsen now tasked with the front and mostly holding speed, but will also pull up out of the way. Kelly, please, into the home straight now at 2 to go. Right with that white helmet for Apex Racing. Just past the 2 to go mark, this will be the bell lap, and all the riders come up to the blue line. They're sitting up just a little bit. Hudson keeps it going and pulls up underneath the group, re-accelerates a little bit, and then once again pulls up to that blue line. All riders now sort of in that standby position. I think Ashley was hoping she would have lost some riders, but they were not letting her get away, so it will come down to this sprint formation coming out of turn 4 as Heather Nielsen tries to lock and load out of the turn and is now down in the sprinter's lane to take the lap. Heather Nielsen for Audi Crikey on the move. Our women now up to full speed with Kelly Please. Looking like she's trying to get down and catch that speed. Hitting the back wheel now down the back straight. She knows what she's got to do. She's up and out of the saddle. Annette Williams also sees her opportunity, so now she'll re-accelerate the thing. Are you kidding me? Annette Williams coming right out of the field like it's no big deal. Coming out of turn 4, Williams looking very strong. Danny Scoville trying to chase down. It's going to be Annette Williams able to check herself there to the line. It'll be Scoville and Darlene going 2 and 3 across the line. Once again, Cat 1-2, this would be that opportunity. If you weren't the first 3 or so, we're just asking, the officials are asking for you to come check in at the official stand to help us sort out some finishing placings. We're going to be sorting out some, again, I had a bit of a technical difficulty. So Cat 1-2 riders, if you could please come over to the official stand in regards to your first race. Kidde Kilo about ready to come on the track. We just need to make sure our athletes are off the race surface, so we'll just hold on for one more moment as we clear things out. We do these about every other week at the track, so if you missed your opportunity or you know someone that's got a kid that would enjoy their moment in the spotlight, they could come out here and have a free lap around the track. We can help you with that one. Signups are here at the track. All you got to do is get into the park, bring the kid. They got to have a helmet. Any kind of bike will do. Push bike, training wheels, big kid bike, mountain bike, it's all good. And they're off for their fast lap around the track. As they go by, you got to make lots of noise, stomp your feet, clap your hands. The future of track racing. Future Olympians. The kids are out to play. And by play, I mean it's all serious here. It's all about who can win. No, I'm just kidding. That's not the goal. But I'll tell you what, we're all in scouting mode now. The teams are looking for their next members. They're really feeling all 400 meters of that lap, let me tell you. Our first finisher coming on the home straight. The helmet is on point. There's more mass in that red helmet than there is in the rider. And there is nothing wrong with that. Oh, lap 2, okay. I mean, it's free. He's getting his money's worth. That's why you need a stopper on the other side. This would be live. anybody have an Allen I can borrow? Thanks. Any, just, yeah, thanks. Here you go. Is that John? Who is that? Yeah. Yeah. Nice form on the kick bike. Those things are magic, man. If you ride those, you're set. Nicely done. Nice, helping our finishers here. Team Blue is like, I want to leave, I want to leave. Mom, that was hard. I want my ice cream. All right, next group out. Come on out. The bikes are getting bigger. I see some training wheels. Oh, man. We got baskets coming out. Nice. Man, you guys know what to do. Crowds are always better with the kids than with the adults. You just gotta be cuter, you adults. What's wrong with you? He's here. Waterman and Culp. Waterman and Culp, can you come down to the officials area, please? All right, coming on track now. Some big bikes. We got 2 more groups maybe, or one really big group? Yeah, this is a big crew. All right, nice. This will be a fast one. And they're off and up out of the saddle. Look at the speed for the big kids. Suspensions and everything. This is where you're going to see the spin. Woo! Some of these kids got shifters and they could probably use them. Off for a fast lap. Here we go. Are these kids doing 2 or are they all doing 1? Nobody wants to answer. That's okay. 1, perfect. I never know. They don't tell me these things. If you're only going to see them once, you better make a lot of noise. Here they come. The fast finish. Those aren't for trails. That's for riding on the track. Look at those bikes. All right, all done after the fast lap. Thank you. Here they come. A few more finishing here. Nice hustle. Polka dots killing it. Uh-oh. We don't have a starter or a stopper. Oh, well. Whoa. All done, guys, right here. Nice job. Yep. Woohoo. Nice job. You can roll right into the grass even, so other kids will finish behind you, okay? Nice job. All right, Cat 4s, we're almost ready. Our elders really wanted to take another lap. You want to bring them out? Okay, well, you got it. Nice work. Nice. One more round of applause for our kiddos and, of course, Mom and Dad for bringing them out here. We thank you for joining us during the race event tonight. If your kids want to have a little bit more exposure to the track and a little bit more time to play around on it and feel what it's like to race and ride one of the fixed gear bikes, if you had an older kid, ages 9 and up, we've got a program called Youth Try the Track. You can sign up for an hour for free to use one of our track bikes. You don't even have to bring your own equipment. Just bring a helmet and athletic wear, and you can have an hour on the track. You sign up for that online at velodrome.org under the Education tab. You'll find it right there. You can just sign up for whatever time works for you. Bring the kid out here, and we'll help you get started and give you a little bit of coaching and an extra bit of time to ride the bike around and learn what it's like. Coming up next, our Cat 4 is about ready to start our Winning Out, our second series of races coming at you here. So the win and out's going to be a different format than our scratch race. We're going to have a bell at 10 to go, and at the next lap, the first rider across the line wins and is done with the race. After that, we're going to have another bell at 7 to go. At the 6 to go lap, we're going to pull the second place rider out of the race. We do it again at 4 to go for third place, and then finally, at 1 to go, everyone's racing for fourth place and all the rest of the places as well. So we are starting. Here's our Cat 4s, and it's going to be the Californian down the sprint lane leading us out. Letting other riders come over the top of them, though, to start this thing. So here's the thing with the win and out is that it's kind of a short race to win. If you think about it, it's only 3 laps until the winner is done. But the problem is that a lot of riders are going to be gunning for that first place finish, and it can oftentimes be really difficult to win it just because everyone's really fresh. And it's likely that you're going to be contesting a lot of riders for it, especially if the pace is slow like it is right now. So everybody's kind of thinking like, oh, I want it. I want to go get that first place win. So they're sitting in this field really patiently, and the field's going slow. Everybody's got lots of time to think about where to be. And then there's this all-out, they go for that big first win. And what ends up happening is there's a lot of riders that don't get it, but they put a lot of effort into that sprint. They're not going to be ready for the sprint for second or third place. So it's a bit of a gamble to go for the early one sometimes. Sometimes it's a gamble to wait. It depends on how the field's playing it. Very patient early on in this field at 11 to go. 4 across the track. Into the sprint for first already. That's how quick this thing is. So in the win and out, it's fast to win. Who wants it? Bell's ringing. First place next lap. Who thinks they've got the top speed to win this thing? The races start, and it's already going to be over for somebody. Wilson Turk, the rider in black and white. Bib 424 looks like he's got a great 400-meter effort here. Does he have enough? And coming into the front now, we're going to be having Stan Douglas. Flow Cycling Factory team in the blue. He's been training for a nice quick sprint like this one. He says, perfect opportunity for me to show my strength tonight. Already done. Stan Douglas. He'll go high to get out of the way of the field, who will pass underneath him, and then he will be out of the race, as our officials have called him out officially for having won that sprint. Eight to go. Next time around, we hear a bell. It'll be for second place as Flaum starts to position himself ahead of the field. He notices a little bit of an opening over the top as riders are kind of watching each other in that front group of 5, and he'll just kind of slide over the top of everybody, over the blue line and down into the sprinter's lane. And in a great position to get the second place now is Benjamin Flaum is away from this field. 7 to go. Next time around, second place pulled from the group here. Parker, number 417, takes the lead of the field, but not currently on pace to catch Benjamin, who's already well away at this point. .412, Benjamin Flaum called for second place. Five to go. Bell next lap. All right, this will be the sprint for third place. Coming up, 2 riders already out of the field. It's now going to be the sprint for third. Underway. Peter Gilchrist trying to get into position, as is Joe Spranger, now riding side by side. 2 juniors, shoulder to shoulder at the front of the field with Mike Ritter right behind him. California Heat moving into position. Rider in blue is Odin Thordarson now finding his position as well, trying to come around the outside. Oh, man. Can they get there? Joe Spranger has another gear in him. Where did he find that? He just pumped up another bit of speed there all of a sudden. Spranger from the front will not let anybody take it from him. 494. 494 given the official call. Next will be the bell at 1 to go. It'll be for 4th, 5th, and all the rest of the places. Two to go. Bell next lap. Cat 3's just about time. Time to queue up if you're not already over in place. Cat 3 men coming up next. Oh, a sneaky move underneath. The field taking a little long to recognize Odin being tricky in the sprinter's lane as everybody's sitting up a little bit. DBC photo down there in the home straight, getting a good shot of the action coming in through corner 4. As the bell's ringing at 1 to go. This is now for 4th and 5th place still, so still top places on the overall race standings. Odin put himself in such a great position. Can anyone catch up to him? It looks like Will Fowler's trying to do the work necessary. It will be Odin Thordarson coming out of the turn at the front of the field, and we'll be getting this 4th place finish. Will Fowler finding enough to turn out of the group as well. We'll find 5th. A couple of our younger riders doing well here to close out the win and out. And everybody's finished up now on that lap, so we'll have all of our riders exit as soon as they're able to. Cat 3s will bring out here momentarily. Category 3 men on the track for the win and out. First bell will be at 10 to go for the winner. I wonder what 309's thinking in this race. Hyun Lee at the front of this neutral lap. What will we see here in the win and out? It's a sprinter's paradise if you can get in the right spot. You get to start in these big races with lots of riders and get done well before the last lap. We saw Stan Douglas do it to a T in the previous race. Watch for a couple of our fast finishers out of this field to try to do the same thing, especially if the first couple laps are slow. You saw how that worked. If you start slow, the sprinters will be feasting at that 1 to go for the winner. That's going to be, again, that first bell at 10 laps to go, I should say. So we'll keep our eyes out for this field. Up next, women competitors. Excuse me, Cat 1-2 men up next. Cat 1-2 men coming up next. And the whistle sounds the start of the race. Bell at 10 to go. Win and out. Underway. Getting a bit of a in-the-race view from one of our competitors is watching the stream now. It's going to be following around Jonathan Levi's view from the front of his bike. He's rider number 319, rider in black with white kid on there. It'll give us a nice view of the action up close. As the field right now sees a bit of a move from Henry Kaiser over the top. He's going to open things up quickly. Kaiser clicking along and stretching the field out. The rider in orange getting some help from the home field. At 11 to go, he'll pull up as he sees quite a few riders on his tail. He's thinking, maybe I can get away from this field a little bit ahead of this sprint, or at the least, I need to make this sprint hard for the riders if they're going to come around me, as he knows that there's quite a few fast finishers behind him, and they're all looking to be done with this race early. The opening underneath is for Snoblin to take the front position. This is going to be our front group coming through onto the home straight now. You can see Snoblin getting the bell as we see Levi moving into position. He might have open track in front of him now as he comes through turns 1 and 2. Levi is at the front of this race. All we can see in front of him is open track, and he's going to try to hit it hard with what's to be Carson Hedrick in a really good position on his wheel. He's marked him well coming through this turn. Can Levi get the win here over Hedrick? Hedrick's trying to find a little extra speed. Carson Hedrick coming out of the turn. It's still Levi in the front. Will Hedrick find enough? He's still accelerating. Hedrick will get it. Levi put out a lot of effort on that one, and he's going to have to dig deep for recovery mode now. Officials calling Carson Hedrick out of the race on that exciting sprint for first. So that's what happens. I was talking about this in a little bit in the previous race, how when you take that gamble and it doesn't pay off, now it's going to be a really tall hill for Jonathan Levi to recover and then sprint again. But I know he's got good endurance. He just has to show some recovery now. Almost got it. But this will give a great opportunity for a lot of other riders that did not participate in the first sprint to now be competitive for second place. The next bell will be at 7 to go. That's going to be this next lap already. And this is a setup now for the sprint for second upcoming. Currently Austin Hildreth, Country Green Turf team out of Olympia off the front, the rider in blue. And our Olympia rider seeing 7 to go, and the next lap is for second place. Can the junior catch as Kaiser, the laser, the rider with that orange helmet, trying to close in on Hildreth, who's got himself in a great position. The field not going to be challenging for second there, and now eyeing the third place sprint for sure. Kaiser making progress. The junior's finding this turn of speed he needs. It'll be Hildreth and Kaiser coming into turn 3, but it looks like Kaiser's the one with the bigger momentum coming out through turn 4. Kaiser lasers his way up to the front, and it looks like it'll be him for second place. Now Hildreth in a tough position as he's got to dig deep to stay the solo effort if he wants third place wrapped up. If he gives it the chase now, the field will likely catch soon. And if that happens, and it looks like he's going to be giving up the pursuit, so he is going to find himself in a really tough spot to recover in time for a top placing. Another one of those gambles that just almost pays off for him, but Henry plays the role of spoiling the fun. Oh, he doesn't think so. Field down the back straight. All coming back together again. And it's now going to be Peter Snoblin's turn to re-accelerate things. It's 5 to go with Snoblin at the front, the rider in the white and black, 303, followed by David Branson for Apex Racing. It's also Don Wells coming up into position there. So 3 riders push off the front, and the acceleration dies down quickly as they come above the blue line and are looking for a little bit more oxygen in the system before the next sprint. Bell upcoming for third place. Cat 1-2 men should be on the warm-up circle, if not already. Here comes a bell. Next time around is for third. Lucas made his way towards the front again as bib 319 as Levi has found his recovery after the big first effort. He's trying to be contending this third place sprint at the least. He's got enough. There he goes. Can he find it as Don Wells is trying to stop the move? It won't be in time. Levi opening up a big move here, and he's got nothing but open ground in front of him. Goes big for first, doesn't find it, sits in for the second place sprint, and recovers beautifully for a third place finish. A nice sprint for Jonathan Levi. 319 called out by our officials as our third place finisher. This is David Mullen, the next rider up for Hoggins Berman in blue, was trying to hold on to his pace and didn't quite get there, but he's now out in no man's land in front of the field. Well, I mean, he's got no help. That's our rider under the Stanley sign. but our lead rider as of right now. It won't remain that way for long, likely, as we come into the final 2 laps. 4th place upcoming here soon. Seeing 2 to go. Next time around, Bell for 4th, 5th, and all the rest of the places. It'll be our final lap. Snowblin's got another opportunity. There's open track in front of him, and he loves this. Every time it's there, he'll take the move. So he'll accelerate and try to get away from this field again. Maybe trying to single himself out away from this sprint. And the bell's ringing. 1 to go. Peter Snoblin off the front. Can he hold on? Don Wells digging in, trying to get a little bit of speed on the catch here. And he's bringing him back a little bit. He's got with him a couple of riders in his wheel as well. Don Wells, the nearest rider to the leader. Peter Snoblin still on his way. Snoblin still on his pace here. Being pursued, but it looks like it's going to be Snoblin getting the 4th place finish. And coming out of the field, Itai Malikoff will get a top 5 spot on that final sprint. Well done for the Cat 3 men competitors. Excellent racing all around. We will bring out our Category 1-2 men momentarily. Up after that will be our women competitors again. Women's field up after the Cat 1-2 men. And the whistle is the sign to get our riders out on the track for the neutral. Same format as we saw in the last few races. You'll get a bell at 10 to go for the winning lap at 9. If you're enjoying yourself here and want to know more about the programs going on at the Velodrome, the best place you can go is the home of the Jerry Baker Memorial Velodrome. Our online home is velodrome.org. We scored a good domain with that one. Velodrome.org. Head to your on your nearest device to check out the calendar, our race book, descriptions of all the different race nights, how you can get involved, include volunteering opportunities, donating, of course, to the Marymore Velodrome Association. Learn more about our junior programs, our adult education, all sorts of great stuff going on here at the track. Once again, online at velodrome.org. Andy Baker, number 4, the man of the first lap, takes the lead, and he doesn't do so slowly. He does not want to win this race from a sprint. He wants to win it from a kilo effort. It's going to be closer to a 2K really here if he can keep up this kind of effort. It's a little over a kilo if he puts it in the right here, this effort. This is going to be Baker, and that looks to be John Bowie that says he wants to join in on this action. Why not? Bowie and Baker. I said those names an awful lot last weekend on Saturday for International Omnium, as these two were neck and neck in our exciting kickoff racing last week. You can go rewatch the racing action if you haven't checked it out on YouTube, our channel, of course, JB Velodrome. You can rewatch all of our live streams there and see what you missed, including what was an exciting finish to the International Omnium on Saturday, our 3rd session for the kickoff. Here it comes already. You blink and it's going to happen. Winner next lap. Winner next lap. It's Bowie and Baker already kind of trying to reset themselves. Bowie doesn't want to let go of the pace, though. He's going to hold that blue line, and here comes a sprint from over the top as Andrew Carlberg wants to be done with this thing. Look out, though. It's two of the sprinters head-to-head. Siegel and Carlberg. Siegel, the smaller body, he's going to try to hold on to the frame of Carlberg and come whipping around the outside. The smaller sprinter in this draft. Can he find it? Hey! Alex Siegel. Woo! Gets into the draft and finds the speed necessary. Carlberg still off the front. Here you go. Here's your 2K effort opportunity. The one you've been dying for, Andrew. We know you want it. The field saw 8 to go. Bell rings at 7 for second place. It was Carlberg and Siegel head-to-head for the first place sprint. Carlberg coming up just a few inches short. Will now pull up above the blue line and let the field swarm underneath him. And the speed is on as the bell's ringing. Wilson's out of the saddle, hustling it up the speed, number 25. That is a long, stretched out field. Now everybody's trying to hold on to the pace as they know that after this, they still got to sprint for third and fourth. Wilson's another second effort, but he's got Baker right there as he's got Matty Hers right there, John Bowie. A lot of names ready to make this move happen and count. It's going to be Baker coming around the outside first. In comes Matty Hers. Alongside of him, it's Baker and Hers. Baker and Matty Hers. 1-5, number 15, Matty Hers for second place. Keller Rohrbach Racing, the black and green, finds the victory tonight. Almost victory. I'll call that a good one. In a very good sprint with lots of riders down that back straight. One will get out of the race. Everybody else is still stuck in it. Nick Martinez, not too active in the previous sprints, is going to be fresh, so he's going to get in his position now. He's going to be ready to start finding his next opportunity, as it'll be third place coming up soon. Still top 3 spots. No reason not to compete here. Martinez pulls out of the way for Brando of the Fount Cycling team and Bowie. So we got most of our riders forming back up together now down the back straight. The front of the race is Martinez, the rider in the blue, white, and yellow. Riding for the Broadmark Realty Capital team. The same namesake as one of our longtime enduring sponsors and community partners. 4 to go. Bell's ringing and everybody's sitting above the blue line saying, hold on a second. Pryhuber at the controlling position, waiting for someone else to take the lead. It'll be Bowie. No response. No response. I guess they all figured this wasn't going to work out for them if Bowie went. Off Bowie goes. And this will be for third place. Maybe they didn't hear the bell ringing. I don't know. John Bowie for third place. They're too scared to even try. They took one look at him and said, nah, not today. 3 to go. Next bell will be for 4th, 5th, and all the rest of the places. Women competitors, you're winning out coming up next. If you're not up in the warm-up circle yet, time to get over there. Down the back straight, Nick Martinez re-accelerating things, opening up several bike links between him and the nearest chasing rider, Steven Wilson's in the blue. And Nolan Adams for Dyna Racing, who's been looking for his opportunity tonight to be in the right place, has found an opening here. He's trying to move up on Martinez a bit here at 2 to go. Martinez still leading this thing out. He does not look like he wants to give up that position. He's putting out a lot of effort to stay away from Wilson's. Wilson's and Adams now dangling off the front of this broken apart field, who's been just holding on after all of these very close sprints. I guess Bowie's wasn't close between anybody, but it was still happening frequently. And this is good news for Martinez. The field's starting to kind of get a little tired here. At 1 to go, can Nicholas Martinez hold the front? Next lap will be 4th and 5th as Brandon Russells for the Fount Cycling team, number 6, is in pursuit. Martinez still at the front, and now up and out of the saddle. The field might be able to find the speed they need to catch and hold down this lead from Martinez. Oh, he's been trying all night. Can number 4 find his moment? Will it be Nolan Adams now also coming into position? Baker and Adams coming out of the turn. Baker leading things out. Can Adams find the sprint? Baker just going down into his, his position. Just will not be taken away from him. Baker down into his bars and holds on tight for 4th. Nolan Adams will find 5th, I believe, as the unofficial call. Cat 1, 2 men are all finished up on that lap. Women competitors are coming up in just a moment. Don't forget, we don't just have youth programs here. If you're an adult, we also have ways to get you involved. We have adult try the tracks. $10 will get you a track bike for an entire hour out here, including some help from our local staff. You can get what it feels like to ride on these fixed gear bikes. That's right, fixed gears. No coasting and no brakes. These are direct drive machines. You get to feel every bit of detail when you're riding on these bikes. Let me tell you, it's a whole new experience riding on a race surface with them. We'll get you acclimated and help you figure out what it feels like. A safe hour here at the Velodrome for $10. Sign up at velodrome.org for an adult try the track and try it out for yourself. Women competitors coming onto the track for their the final winning out tonight. Points racing coming up next, the featured race of tonight's program. What does that mean? Just means more points in the overall season thing. As I ride over another one of our community partners, the Stanley sign. Yes, the Stanley Thermos, the same company as Seattle company, still making great products. They keep your things hot or cold for hours on end. Our thanks to Stanley again for being one of our great community partners and sponsors here at the Velodrome in 2021. And it's a little bit of cloudy in the distance. Still a beautiful evening here as we continue racing. We're past the halfway point in our program. We have one series of races to go after this. We're going to start with points racing after we wrap up with the women's winning out here. Points racing may be the longest race of the night, the most number of laps, but it's also can be one of the most entertaining. There's going to be a lot of sprinting going on. Points races coming up next. Our next field will be Cat 4 men for their points race. Once again, the first bell for the women will be at 10 to go, and the rider on the next lap to win it will be the winner of the race and will be removed early. I got my eyes on the juniors that are lining up right behind Coach here. Might be trying to eye that early victory, I'm thinking. One of those riders I'm watching, number 210, Danny Scoville, sits at the front of the field right now. Lucy Gilchrist right behind her. Make the race short and walk away with a victory. That's the way the win out can be a nice payout. We'll see how our women choose to race it. It's a slow first couple of laps as they're sitting wide. You can tell that they are not expending a ton of energy yet. Again, leaving a lot of opportunities for the fast finishers to feel really comfortable here, get in position, and then really open up on the group. A lot of hesitation. The bell's ringing, saying first place next time. Nielsen is the first rider across the finish line as the bell's ringing. First place on the next lap as it's Nielsen taking the lead position. Both Annette Williams and Amara Edwards savvy to what's going on here. Kelly Darlene also trying to figure out what's going on and moving up into the field. Her position may not be fast enough, though, as the fast finishing moves of Williams and Edwards may prove too much for the juniors. Scoville trying to reposition herself. It's going to be Williams and Edwards. Annette Williams just a little too strong from the front here. 1-0-2, Annette Williams. Dennis Crane is here for dbcphoto.com, taking pictures of all the action. He's over there in corner 1 right now, grabbing Annette Williams pulling up and out of the field. You can check out photos online after racing at dbcphoto.com and check out his other great work. Support our good friend Dennis by picking up a picture today, and then you can share that with your friends and family about all the great racing going on here. Our thanks to Dennis and dbcphoto.com for their sponsorship and partnership in our community. 8 to go. 7 to go will be another bell for second place. At 7 to go, our riders mostly joined up here. Next time we will find second place. It's Scoville at the front. Nielsen led the lap at the previous sprint, is in second wheel position. The move coming from the middle of the field all the way from the back. Is that Gilchrist coming at the front? I think it is. As Lucy's moving into position. Nope, that's not Lucy. But Scoville's at the front. Scoville still holding on. Kelly Please was on the attack. That's number 112 that I called from the other side of the track. Almost getting up there. Scoville is called the winner of that sprint and second place for the race. At 5 to go, a couple riders coming back in to increase the size of our field. Nielsen now at the commanding position of the front, with Kelly Darlene now taking that lead position alongside of her at the blue line. Bib 101 Darlene in the black with the green highlights. So matching Nielsen's color highlights as well. Nielsen, the rider in red for Audi Crikey Racing down in the sprinters lane. Next sprint will be for third place. Still top 3 positions to be found here. And that bell is the signal for third place. Next lap, third place. Next time around, Nielsen up and out of the saddle. The field responds. The sprint is on, coming down through turn 1 and 2. As Nielsen leads things out currently. Kelly Darlene matching well. Kelly Please, the rider for Apex Racing, in third spot. And Edwards, the next rider up in this sprint. Please finding an extra bit of turn as she gets up and out of the saddle, trying to stay with Darlene, who now comes into the front of the race. Darlene, Please, and Edwards coming into the turn. Darlene still at the lead. It's going to be Darlene leading things out in the sprinters lane. Edwards now making the second move. Darlene, Edwards. Oh! .103, okay. I wasn't going to say it early. It was close, but especially when it's my wife, I don't want to say any, I don't want to be wrong. 103, Edwards finds it. Two to go, and our last bell will be for fourth, fifth, and the rest, as Darlene is still well off the front. She'll ride the acceleration given to her by that previous sprint, and she'll use that to her advantage. Just sit in the drops and get comfortable, as she'll just find a groove for a lap and a half here and hopefully find herself, she's hoping at least, to be in fourth place after that effort. The field not looking to change that anytime soon. Looks like they're sprinting for fifth as they'll sit above the blue line and recalibrate themselves. Hudson, Please, and Nielsen making out that field. Here comes our leader again on the home straight is Darlene in the front of the race right now and trying to get fourth place. Cut 4 as you're about to come up. I see most of you already out there in the warm-up circle. Thank you. Bell's ringing for 5th place out of the field, most likely. Ashley Hudson, the rider at the lead of it. That's going to be Darlene at the lead of the race. We'll follow her around and see her win this from the front, as it looks like she will get the payoff for her early lead in front of the field and hold on for the 4th place finish. And now watching our field, it looks like it's going to be Please coming out around Hudson. Kelly Please from the Apex Racing team trying to find 5th place here, and her move will look like it'll be enough to find 5th place in this final lap of the win and out. We'll see those competitors one more time later tonight. Up now onto the track in just a moment, I should say. Cat 4 is to the ready area. Time to queue up. Cat 4 is queuing up for your points race. Coming on track now for the neutral. 4x4 points racing for the Cat 4 men. What's a points race? That's going to be where we award points on certain sprint laps. Riders at the front of the field will get points in this way on those sprint laps. First rider will get 5 points, second rider gets 3, third rider gets 2, and fourth rider gets 1. 5, 3, 2, and 1 on those sprint laps. There are a certain number of sprints in each of these points races. A 4x4 means 4 sprints every 4 laps for a total of 16 laps in the race. Therefore, the first bell will be at 13 to go, then we'll have a bell at 9 to go, a bell at 5 to go, and then, of course, a bell at 1 to go. The only thing to add into that is that the final sprint is worth double, 10, 6, 4, and 2. So the last sprint is more points than the other sprints before it, adding a little extra value to being able to be competitive all the way to the end of the points race. Our first group on the track to do so, the Cat 4 men, about ready to start. On deck, Cat 3s. And the whistle signals the start of racing, and the next thing that we'll hear is a bell at 13 to go for our first points race, or point sprint, I should say. Mike Ritter for Dyna Racing takes the first lap. $14 to go. Our field's still all together. Again, we're looking for the first bell next time. See who wants the early lead. Jacob Luna at the lead of the field is number 416, but by lead, I mean it's a big bunch. Everybody's all bunched up here as we're at a kind of a moderate speed. Looks like it'll be Parker Stanford taking the front spot. And things kind of bunching up still. Nobody separating out this field, allowing everybody to kind of get together, find their lane, and get ready for their sprint from the front as the bell's ringing at 13 to go. Parker on the front of this thing, bib number 417, trying to get some points early in the race. Look for the outside to make the next move. As it'll be Flaum from the outside, now swinging into position. Down the back straight, it's going to be Flaum and Thorderson now at the front of this thing. So it looks like Parker's finding himself in the top 3 spots. Can you get some points out of this thing? Joe Spranger moving in this position as well. Flaum, Thorderson, Stanford, and Spranger. Unofficially in the lead of the bike race is Ben Flaum for Fell Swoop Racing. He's got 5. Out of LA, California, Odin Thorderson with 3 in second. One of our Jerry Baker competitors, Parker Stanford, all the way from Seattle, Washington with 2 points. And our Sammamish rider, Joe Spranger, also for the Jerry Baker Juniors, has 1 point in 4th currently. Bunching back up again in the follow-up to that sprint. Needed to recover just a moment before the next sprint engages. We'll have a bell at 9 to go. Showing 10 on the cards now. Next time will be our next bell. Field all looking around, waiting for the next move. You can tell when the riders are kind of in that guarding mentality when they've got their heads on a swivel, looking left and right. Everybody's just trying to see who's willing to do the next thing, as they know they aren't currently, so that's why their eyes are open, going, who's going to move to the front? Who's going to make something happen here? They're in that ready position, and it will be a move from Wilson Turk now for First Strike Fellow as the bell's ringing. 5 through 2 and 1 to lead the lap. Number 424, Wilson Turk at the front. Joe Spranger matching him well. Odin Thorderson, who found points in the first sprint as well, now in position. Ben Flaum also moving up to the front again. It'll be Spranger that wants to get into the front position. He'll take it down the back straight. Lots of speed from the youngster now. He's not going to try to let anybody come around the outside of him as Odin's trying to hold on to the speed. Benjamin Flaum is also on the move. It's going to be Spranger coming out of the turn, still looking for the 5. Spranger. Oh, man. Oh! Flaum, I'm not sure. Flaum and Spranger will take 5-3 at some way or another. Thordenson, I think, got the 2, and then I believe Stanford got the 1. Parker at the end of that sprint, unofficially. I'll wait on the clarification from the officials on if Ben made it there in time or not. He was hauling. It will be Flaum for 5, officially called. Spranger will find the 3 points in that one. Unofficially, I have our leader, Flaum, with 10. In second, Thorderson with 5. In third, Spranger with 4. And in fourth, Stanford with 3. Next sprint upcoming. Already. Our race leader in the points at the front of the field, the rider in black and orange, showing off by leading out the lap, trying to get some more. 4-1-2. Flaum continuing to try to pick up more here. Down the back straight, it'll be Flaum, Spranger, Stanford, and Thorderson, the same 4 that have got all the points, continuing to hog all the action. As Spranger will once again do the same move he did last time. Hold off just another second or two to come to the front. Spranger He's like, I know where you are this time, Flaum. You can't come around me this time. Spranger, Thordarson. It'll be Spranger, Thordarson, Stanford, and Flaum. My unofficial points totals give the lead to Ben Flaum with 11 still. I got Joe Spranger now moving into second with 9. 1 point behind him is Thordarson with 8 in third. 5 points to Stanford in fourth. Tight race here at the front of our Cat 4 field. Our lead group might have dropped one though, so the big sprint for 10, 6, 4, and 2 is coming up, and the race is certainly not decided. The distance between any of these riders is not significant. One of our points holders, Stanford, falling back into the main field, currently sitting in fourth, may not find more points unless he can sprint real good against this field. They'll be sprinting for 2 unless they can catch the leaders, so there's not a lot of points on the board for those riders in the main group. Dino Racing doing some work to bring back our leaders now we see on the home straight, as it'll be Spranger at the front of our group of 3. Our lead group as Spranger, Flaum, and Thordarson. The leader in points is the rider in the black and orange. He's got 11 by my count. The 2 behind him, 9 to Spranger, the rider in black and blue, and the rider in mostly blue with some white has 8. The rider right in the middle. So again, very tight in that top group. The field, they're finding themselves again. And maybe just in time. They know the bell's coming. Oh, man. The field's not happy with this current situation. At 1 to go. Last lap for the Cat 4 men as the bell's ringing. Thordarson will pull all the way for Spranger. And it looks like Peter Gilchrist is doing a lot of work for riders in this field to get up there. Mike Ritter benefiting from that effort right now, the rider in pink. It's going to be Flaum down the back straight, leading things out. I don't think you're going to catch this guy now. He's on a big sprint. He really wants to close this thing in. If he gets the 10, he's definitely got this one locked in for the win. Spranger wants to get second here. Can he find the 6? Here comes Ben Flaum out of the turn. Ben Flaum on a tear tonight. Wants to find another victory out of the Cat 4s. Spranger, Thordarson, and Gilchrist clinching his teeth for the 2. Nicely done. Good racing for our Cat 4s again tonight. Coming next, our Cat 3s queued up and ready to start. Cat 1-2 men, you'll be up next. Points racing going on here at the Velodrome. We got 3 more races to go tonight. Again, coming up onto the track in just a moment. Cat 3 men. And the whistle is sounded from officials for the neutral lap. A 5x5. See if you were paying attention during the last race. If it's a 5x5, that means what? 5 sprints every 5 laps. And then we multiply to get 25 laps. I don't want to sound, I sound teachery. I'm almost done. My day job. Couple weeks left. Not math though, by the way. And about ready to start here. Looks like our field's together. That whistle will be the signal racing is underway. Our first ball at 21 to go. All right, so our Cat 3s are rolling here. And again, the first bell will be at 21 to go, so these first couple laps are just sort of the prelude, but no one's waiting around too long in these first sprints to get the speed up and going for the field. Carl Pratis moving out of the way, now leaving room for Peter Snoblin. 23 to go. First bell in a couple laps. Riders taking their turn to the front, and the pace is definitely quick here before the first sprint. Kaiser getting out of the way for Carson Hedrick. Field all together under the Greg Cycle sign in turn 2. A little bit of slowing here ahead of the bell as the field will now start to bunch up a bit. That setup before the sprint, oftentimes slower than what is about to follow. Watching the front here, who's going to take the first move? We're kind of waiting for a reacceleration at 21 to go. Riding from the front of the field is Jacob Tung, 307, Ashford competitor. Found himself at the front of the field and said, why not? I'll take my chances. Carson Hedrick also near the front will find his acceleration down the back straight. We now watch the rider in blue take the front spot, and up coming into this sprint will be Levi. Jonathan Levi all the way to the front for 5. Hedrick for 3. Kaiser 2. And I'll wait on the call for the single point at the back of the sprint. So Levi, our unofficial leader right now, he's got 5. Rider in black, bib 319. If you're watching on the stream, you're seeing his view. So our leader moving towards the front of the field is now he's kind of got the open track. Coming across that finish line at 18 to go. Still watching our field all lined up here. As you can see, Levi's view right in the middle of the field. If you're watching the stream again, our current race leader, he's now second wheel position in the group. It's Peter Snoblin right in front of him, looking around, trying to see what the field's up to behind him. Coming around to the home straight, and everyone's going to evict that sprinter's lane. And then they'll come back and reestablish the sprint at 16 to go. That's going to be Snoblin on the front, Levi in pursuit. Kaiser and Hedrick, Carson Hedrick, the front 4 riders. And Levi, once again, finding the speed needed to come around to the front. He's not alone, but he does have the lead position. Kaiser and Levi. Kaiser will find it, I think. Levi, Hedrick, and I think Hildreth will get the 1. Levi holds on to the lead after losing that sprint to Kaiser. He still has enough with 8 points. Closely followed, though, by Henry now with 7 unofficially. I got 5 points to Hedrick in third, and I believe 2 points for Hildreth is the unofficial call to rider 320. You see our riders moving up to that blue line again. This is kind of the rest position. It's the slow lane, so to speak. If you're above the blue line, one of those things you kind of learn about the lay of the track is that the lines break up the racing surface into different areas. The further left you go, the faster you're moving. The shorter lane is the fast lane. It's the low lane. If you're moving slow, you'll use that hill. Most riders now moving down to that sprinter's lane. You can see they're starting to line up a little bit again. So you'll see this kind of yo-yo, push and pull, accelerate, deaccelerate in the body language of the riders, especially in between these sprints. At 13 to go, we'll get another bell at 11. Race leader Levi still watching the front of this field. Oh, Snoblin senses an opening here. Snoblin making a big move. Open up a decent gap for himself here at 12 to go. The bell will be ringing next lap, and he's trying to put himself in a position where he can't be sprinted against. Levi in pursuit. Levi will give up the chase as he'll let Kaiser do the rest of the work, and he looks like he should have enough to bring the group up there for the most part. This will be just in time for that bell. Hey, look at that. We got our podiums on the infield real quick. We can say congratulations to our top 3 tonight. Nice job. Here comes our lead move from Hedrick, seeing an opening. It's Carson Hedrick in the blue at 11 to go. Nobody in pursuit right now. Hedrick has points, so he is not out of this race by any stretch of the imagination. In fact, he's in third right now. So third place, rolling away from the field kind of sneakily. Nobody was noticing him. Kaiser will take the opportunity to sprint down the back straight and look for the 3 points, as I think Hedrick's already on pace for the 5. So good move for Carson Hedrick. The rider in blue for 5. The orange helmet looking for 3. Levi will get the 2. Itai Malikoff getting in for his first point, I believe. Now, if I've done things right, which I'm prone to make mistakes, unofficially we have a 3-way tie after those sprints for first with 3 riders at 10 points apiece. So that's exciting. We'll give it, again, unofficially 10 points to Hedrick, Levi, and Kaiser. Itai Malikoff, 324, pulling up above the blue line, is the rider who just picked up the solo point on the last sprint. So he's gotten into the top positions already just by having a point. Most riders out there don't have one yet. So if you can get your point, you get it. Moves you up in those finishing point positions quickly. Back together on the back straight is Kaiser at the front of the field as we sort of gather our breath. Everybody's still down near the sprinter's lane, but pace is fairly moderate at this stage of the action. For those of you that are starting to head out, we know it's getting a little bit late into the night. Thanks for joining us here on Friday Night Racing. It's good to have so many folks here hang out with us on the big lawn here, our beautiful big backyard of Marymore Park. It's good to have folks back together again, enjoying racing and just having this community returning, supporting our athletes and enjoying a little bit of fun out in the sun. We appreciate you being here with us. We'll be back again for more racing again next week at 7 o'clock. So hopefully we'll have our live audience here again to support our riders as long as our weather holds out. Snoblin, once again, loves to start things. He'll start it up again here at 7 to go. For Apex Racing, Dave Branson will follow in suit. Number 318 takes the lead position, and the two of them are looking like they want to ride it. Trying to keep that spin up as there's riders pretty close in pursuit. Still Branson and Snoblin dancing off the front of the field. Six to go. We got another point sprint. We got to break a tie at the top of this race. As again, I unofficially have that 3-way tie going on between Hedrick, Levi, and Kaiser, the three riders at the front of the field right now. Those are the riders at the front of the main group, not the two in front of them. That'll be Kaiser making the big jump first. Whoa. Jeez. The laser had one ready to go. Locking and loading down the chamber, and off he flies. The laser coming onto the home straight. Boom for 5. Levi 3. Hildreth for 2, and I think Hedrick flew in for the 1 point there. So after that, you know that the tie was broken for sure. Kaiser takes the new lead with 15 points, trailed by Levi with 13, 11 to Hedrick, 5 to Hildreth, and 1, I believe, still to Malakoff as the unofficial standings. Four to go as the riders came by that time, and everybody ready to get some oxygen, a reset here above the blue line. A lot of sprinting going on in this race. Coming up next, Cat 1-2 men should be ready to go. We're in the final laps of this event on the track now. They'll be followed by our final field of the evening, the women, for their points race. Don't forget, if you've been enjoying the stream at home and seeing some cool angles, getting in the race, enjoying the commentary, the camera work, any of those things, be sure to leave us a thumb up on that video. Of course, subscribe to the YouTube channel, hit the bell for notifications, and most importantly, repost and share. Let folks know that we're doing this here and spread the word. We really appreciate it. If you're an early adopter, an earlier supporter of our online channels and streaming, we'd appreciate the share and the like, because that really helps us with exposure. And as always, if you have comments, questions, concerns, or thoughts, you can always send us a line. Head to velodrome.org and you can find all of our contact information to get a hold of one of us here. One of our staff would be happy to talk with you. On their move on the back straight is going to be Snowblin once again. I get to say his name more than anybody's in this field because he is one active racer and he does not like the slow pace. At 2 to go, he's moving it again. Next time around, they're getting a bell for the big double point sprint. And the top of the race is only a few points apart. So Hedrick, Levi, and Kaiser are the racers that we are most concerned about for points. The rider currently in the lead of the race has the orange helmet right in the middle of the field at the top, almost at the rail. He's about to be alongside the rider in third place, Hedrick in blue, and Levi is right in the middle and following Hedrick currently. And the sprint is engaged. It'll be Carl Pratis, one of our fast finishing juniors who hasn't found points yet, will go off the front and just try to get this thing wrapped up at a 400-meter sprint. He's got with him is Itai Malakoff. Down the back straight, we'll also watch the current race leader as Henry Kaiser knows how to get up to speed. Look at this kid go. He's got a heck of a spin tonight, bringing with him, though, a couple of riders that are matching his speed. Who's going to finish in the front? It looks like Pratis is losing a little bit of speed. Malakoff still holding on. Kaiser trying to come in for this 5 point. It's going to be Hedrick on the outside. Oh, it's going to be Hildreth. Hildreth for 10. Malakoff for 6. Woo! Levi, I think, got 4 points in there. The most point getter of the highest points out of the current leaders. Boy, let me look here. I think Levi trailing by 2 points behind Kaiser. He got 2 more points than Kaiser in that sprint, at least. So even if he comes into a tie, he finished ahead of him. I think Levi might have been our winner unofficially by the points in a really close one. All right. Exciting stuff. We've got a few more races to go tonight. Cat 1-2s. It's a 30 lapper. We'll get those started. This one started in just a moment. On the track now for the neutral. Cat 1-2s for the 30 lap points race. Not a scratch, not a scratch. Scratch that. I mean, some of them out there might be racing it like a scratch. I don't know. Stay in it, win the last sprint, I win. Unfortunately, that's not how the race works. It is a 6x5 points race, so there will be 6 sprints separated by 5 laps. How's that for an adjustment? 6 sprints separated by 5 laps each. We'll have the first bell at 26 to go, and then again every 5 laps after. This is our featured race of tonight's program, so it's worth double in the overall points that we award in our night. So we'll see how the Cat 1-2s, as they get their signal to start racing, will compete tonight for this one. 30 laps of racing now underway. My mistake there. They're getting another lap. My mistake. The neutral is still being maintained here. I misheard. There it is. I should actually listen for the whistle, shouldn't I? That's on me. All right, 30 laps to go. I mean, it wasn't on me. I don't know what those guys did, but they did something wrong, not me. I'm not racing. Might have been a little anxiousness there coming into the home straight. It'll be the man of the first lap, Andy Baker, parading us around on lap 1. Get a good view here of Baker leading things out on the lap as we can watch the field in pursuit behind him in a straight line. If you're watching the stream currently. Robson down the back straight, the rider in white. Number 6 swinging way out of the way. Again, with the points race, we're most concerned about these point sprints. Our first one coming up, the bell at 26 to go. That'll be Bowie at the front of the field now. Next time around, they'll see 27 to go as they come across the line. Lots of speed early in the field, so everybody's looking for spots to hide in this group. Brando the Mando for Found Cycling. Pulls out of the way. Bib number 6. Going down the back straight, our field well lined up here. Couple of riders up above the blue line, but still pretty well gathered up. And there's our very first bell as riders are getting into position here. At the front is Martinez accelerating things, number 18. John Bowie on the wheel. Stephen Wilson's number 25 is right there as well. That looks to be Matty Hers, the 4th rider. Going down the back straight and accelerating over the top of Martinez will be Bowie, now moving into position for the black and green team of Liquid Velo. Looking to pick up the big first points. Bowie, Wilson's. Bowie will take the 5. Wilson's will take 3. Hers for 2. And I think it was Martinez for the 1, but boy, it was close. Unofficially our leader right now, Bowie with 5. With 3 points, the Caliber Home Loans Gerks Racing Team, Stephen Wilson's in the light blue. That's number 25. In third place, Maddie Hers, number 15 for Keller Rohrbach, has got 2. And I believe Martinez might end up with the 1 point after the last sprint, number 18. .22 to go. And our race leader in points, still in the main group, pulled up above the blue line and sort of sitting midfield. The rider in black and green, currently the leader in points. Getting a look here in the middle of the field as they start to swing up a little high. Above the blue line and setting themselves up for this next big sprint. Bells ringing. We watch the front begin to accelerate. Will be Hers along the rail. One of our race leaders. He's got 2 to his name. Brandon Russell's the rider in dark green, trying to guard the front and not able to lead out the sprint, but he will find a spot down there behind what looks to be Baker and Bowie. Get a good look here at the sprint from Baker's view as he's got riders right behind him, all lined up and trying to hold on to his pace. It'll be Bowie for 3 as Baker comes around for the 5. Russell will get the 2. Robson will look to pick up the single point at the end of that one. We'll give it to Bowie for the lead in the race overall with 8 points. After that, we got 5 points to Baker, sitting in second. One rider with 3 is Stephen Wilson's, good for third. 2 points to Matty Hers and to Brandon Russell. 1 point to Robson and Martinez. In the view of the rider winning that previous sprint, started sitting in the middle of the field as our riders are gathering back up above the blue line. Next sprint at 16 to go as our riders will see 18 laps remaining. Off the front of the field, Nick Martinez has found himself with a significant opening in the middle of this race. So following the previous sprint, the rest of the field has decided it's time to sit up a little bit and recover. Martinez now getting right into the zone. He's out for a time trial. Martinez, 17 to go. He's got the 5 points locked up, folks. I don't see how he loses that. What is he going to do with that opportunity following this move, though? Quick look back into our field. You'll notice that we have Andrew Karlberg, number 1, at the lead position, and our field still in pursuit. You can see the distance is quite significant as they are just now coming into the back straight. Almost a half a lap as the bell rings for our race leader. Martinez gets the bell and looking to pick up 5 points next lap. No way he doesn't do that. The field sitting up here. Martinez in a great position, in total control of this race. We will see Martinez on path for the 5. That should bring his points totals up to 6. How about it, folks? If you're still here, help out Nick. He's on a big move here. Broadmark Realty off the front. Doing it the hard way. We'll watch now back to the main field as it looks like it's going to be a heck of a sprint that's underway out of the back straight. Wilson's, Robson, and Baker 3-2-1 for the points. I still have our race leader as John Bowie with 8. After that is three riders with 6 points apiece. Andy Baker, Nick Martinez, and Steven Wilson's all tied at second with 6 points apiece. After that, Mike Robson's got 3. Matty Hers and Brandon Russell have 2. That's confirmed as official. Looking out on the track, we do see that the distance has closed ever so slightly for Martinez as the main field is on the same straight as him, but it's still a big gap for our lead rider from Broadmark Realty Capital Team. And the field is not in a chasing position right now on the track as they ride to the right of the blue line. Martinez is going to be certainly picking up more points here than he first was hoping to get. I mean, he may be able to pick up several sprints here. $12 to go. Bells next time for Martinez, hoping to find another 5. Our main field just now rolling through on the back corners here, coming onto the home straight. You can see the distance they've got, and they are still riding high in their positioning well above the blue line. Now just starting to re-accelerate behind Matty Hers has moved down to the sprinter's lane. Martinez still out here doing the lone work at 11 to go. Eric Waterman probably knows it. He's not going to be doing any effort for Martinez. Rider number 20 is not on the lead lap, so he's not eligible for points. But Martinez certainly is. Matty Hers is also eligible. He's off the front of the field, hoping for 3 here. And maybe his big goal really is come on, guys, come get me. Let's go get this guy. You get me, then we go get him. Right now, though, we can certainly put in the books Martinez is on path to another 5. Bringing his points totals up to 11. Help him out, folks. 10 to go. Martinez, 10 to go. Here we go. Matty Hers coming in here for 3. Bowie for 2. Wilson's for 1. This race is still very close. At the top of it, I got Nick Martinez now with 11 in the lead. 1 point behind him is John Bowie with 10. After that with 7, I've got Steven Wilson's. 6 points to Andy Baker. 5 points to Matty Hers. 3 to Mike Robson and 2 to Brandon Russell. Confirmed official, our leader, Martinez with 11, has a 1 point lead on John Bowie, but he's still off the front. And if you want to see Martinez get the big victory today for the solo effort, an impressive solo time trial he's been putting out here today, he might need some help as the field's starting to get a little anxious. Number 32, the rider in red, Carl Hofer for Team Audi, is on the move, putting in the necessary effort to start to close things down a little bit. There's still 2 sprints ahead of this field. There's still a lot of points out there to be taken, and Martinez is hoping to at least find 5 more, if not more here. 7 to go. The speed is really starting to come together here for the field. Brandon Russell, number 6. Nolan Adams, number 11, take turns at the front and are drawing things along nicely here. There's a possibility that Martinez finds another 5, and it sort of depends on what the field chooses to do here. They are within striking distance if they all pull up to top speed. Martinez getting the bell again. Can he find 5 more? Martinez. Can he find more? The field starting to look around each other. You can start to see John Bowie now. Bowie pulls out of the way and leaves Baker. Is he going to be able to find the speed as Martinez has still got a fair lead, but Baker's doing a lot of work now. I don't think he's going to get there in time for the points, but they are certainly in the pursuit, and they're fighting over the 3 points. It'll be Martinez for 5 again. Martinez for 5. Who's going to find the 3? Wilson's. Matty Hers. Wilson. Steven Wilson's for 3. Matty Hers for 2. Andy Baker for 1. This is still pretty interesting here. Martinez is our current race leader in points, but look where he is now. He has been caught and sits in the field. He has a total of 16 points unofficially. Behind that, I've got two riders with 10 points apiece. They are sitting in second place each, John Bowie and Stephen Wilsons. After that is Baker in fourth with 7. Tied with Matty Hers with 7 in fourth place. After that, Mike Robson with 3. Brandon Russell still has 2. If one of the riders with 10 points can win the next sprint and Martinez is kept out of the top points, the lead will likely change. Now, as I'm reading the points, Nolan Adams has snuck away. For Dyna Racing, it's going to be Nolan Adams way ahead of the field, just trying to pick up the sneaky 10. 2 to go. Nolan Adams pulls away from the field and has a huge gap. Now, he doesn't have any points to his name yet, so the field has done what? They've said, sure, go for it. But what that does do is it takes the 10 points away from this field. Haldy's on the move. You know he's got the fanciest wheels out there, the hand-built hands of Matt Haldeman leading out the field currently, and our leader in position right now is Nolan Adams getting the bell. It's 1 to go. 10 points for Nolan Adams next time around is likely wrapped up. A smart move for the rider from Dyna. As we come back now to the field, as they come across the finish line, it's going to be Bowie making the move to bring the field up to speed. Down the back straight, Bowie leading out Baker and Martinez. Brandon Russell is also in there. We'll now go and watch our finisher here, as it's going to be Nolan Adams coming across the finish line for the 10 points. And back to the field, it looks like we will have Baker. Oh, who's coming out of the field? It is Baker for 6. Bowie for 4. And Brandon Russell for 2. And interestingly enough, because Nolan Adams, a rider without points, grabbed the 10, and Martinez didn't get any points in that sprint, you'd think that the lead might change up, but because the 10 was taken away from any of the other point getters, Baker, too far out of the lead to win, got the 6 points. Martinez holds on, I believe, to win the race unofficially with 15, make it 16 points for his solo effort. So Nick Martinez, for his earlier efforts, I believe puts it together for the victory. Fun racing there. Made me do my work, figuring out what the heck's going on with the points. A crazy race. Our riders will exit after that lap as they can. And our last field of the evening, our women are going to be coming on track next.
Nobody's like us. When people see us, they know. I feel so much for you that I don't know what to do. 'Cause someone was before you, and someone let me go. It's time I must know for sure. 'Cause someone was before you, and someone let me go.
And our women's field taking the track. A 4x5. 4 sprints separated by 5 laps each for a total of 20 laps. And here they come into turn 4, and confirming that there is the sound of that whistle. I learned my lesson. 20 to go. No points on the board yet. Kelly Donleen to take the first lap. Couple interim laps here. Riders taking their turns at the front. They will be seeing 17 to go next time through. First bell at 16, so another lap still remaining before we get there. For those of you on the infield with any sorts of camera equipment, we'd appreciate returning that over to the table nearest the officials. Either mounts and or camera gear. Thank you very much. Appreciate being willing to help us out with the stream and be of view. By the way, racers, if it makes it easier for you, if you bring a GoPro mount, we will throw the camera on there. If you have a mount that you'd prefer that fits your equipment and want to let us know that you brought one, we can toss a camera on there. That might be easier. We also can plug in your camera into our setup if you bring a GoPro capable of streaming directly to a source. It has to be a fairly new GoPro. I'm quite certain a GoPro 8 or 9 Black would be able to accomplish that task. Bell's ringing for the first points at 16 to go. Ashley Hudson is the rider above the blue line near the front of the field. Underneath her down at the sprinter's lane is Danny Scoville, leading out the short line around the bottom of the track. For our first point sprint, still Scoville leading things out. About to come in alongside of her will be Williams. Center Cycles in the dark blue. Now coming into the front position is Annette for the first 5. Ooh! That was a tight one in more than one way. I was like left and right. Those two were right on top of each other, but they did have their line and they held it. It'll be Williams almost being beat by Darlene there. Unofficially, our race leader, Williams with 5 and Darlene with 3. I think I have Hudson for 2 and 3rd. Indeed, it will be Hudson that got the 2 points. Scoville found the single point at the end of the sprint. 13 to go. Next bell at 11. Race leader, Williams, number 102. For Center Cycles, all the way from Kenmore, Washington. Bell, next lap, 12 to go. Edwards takes the sprinter's lane at the front of the field. Don't forget, we'll be back here again next week, 7 o'clock every single week through the summer months. We are open for racing, and we're so glad to be back in 2021. We will be racing throughout this regular season well through August. We close out with a couple of races at the very beginning of September for our regular season. 11 o'clock, 11 to go. I'm talking times here. Jeez Louise. Nielsen looking over the right shoulder, trying to see what's going on as the bell's ringing for more points. What's going on is Kelly Darlene is right there and wants to take the front. Darlene and Williams now move into position. Kelly Please also accelerating. Ashley Hudson trying to get on it. The rider in black and blue for Apex Racing is Kelly Please. Whoa, a nice move. Williams is not going to have a lot of room to move to the right as Please will hold her down in the sprinter's lane. A bit of a box being set up for the Center Cycles competitor, but with enough speed from Darlene, she'll have the room if she wants to. Darlene, Williams, Please, and Hudson. In the lead is a tie between Darlene and Williams with 8 apiece. 3 points to Hudson for third. 2 points to Please is 2 points in fourth place. 1 point to Scoville in fifth. My unofficial totals at 9 to go. Another bell at 6. Darlene at the front is 101. Pulls up to the right. Kelly Please now at the front. You too can become a racer if you are so inclined and want to learn more about this. In fact, if you just want to get started and be a part of this racing community, I know it can look a little intense from the outside, but I promise you, we got a lot of locals that are out here working their own 8 to 5 jobs and then coming out here and competing at the track. We got a racing and athletic family here. If you want to participate in it or even just give it a try to learn more, probably the best way to get involved is to sign up for the adult track class. If you haven't heard about this program, it's a 4-hour class that you sign up for on the weekend. You get some essentials around racing rules about how to handle the bike. We give you a track bike for the time you're here, so you don't have to have your own equipment. Just bring a helmet and some athletic wear, and then we'll have you out here in no time sort of experiencing what it's like to race. We'll give you the thumbs up to come start racing on beginning racing night where the fields are small and a lot of staff are there to support you and help you and explain to you what you can do better between races. It's a very supportive experience. It all gets started by you going to velodrome.org, going to Education tab and clicking the Adult tab that's under there and signing up for one of the adult classes, a 4-hour class offering that you can get, once again, on the website, velodrome.org, and get started with your own racing adventure here in the Velodrome. What a great place to learn this awesome sport. And it may not seem like it, no brakes, you can't coast, it may not seem safe. It is one of the safest, if not the safest way to race a bike out here at the Velodrome. Our next bell now ringing. Race leaders Williams and Darlene near the front of the field as they watch Hudson lead things out at the blue line, the rider for Audi in red. Coming down the hill out of turn 2, Hudson's still leading things as they drop down into the flat of the back straight. Please in a great position alongside the sprinter's lane, but it's going to be Hudson with the great speed at the front is probably going to have enough to hold on here. Can anyone come around the outside, though? Darlene looks like she has speed. Can she do it in time? Oh, I don't even know who it was. Williams and Darlene both find enough speed to overtake Hudson in the final moments. Please will find the single point at the end of it. We'll take a quick look at the finish line again to see who we think might have picked at the 5 and confirm. 4 to go. One more sprint left at 1 to go. Double the points on the final sprint. Upcoming. The official call is for Darlene. Finding the 5. Williams for 3. Our race leader is now Kelly Darlene with 13 points and Annette Williams in second with 11. After that, I've got Ashley Hudson with 5 in third. Kelly Please with 3 in fourth. And 1 point to Scoville. Final sprint upcoming. Racers, don't forget, we keep sending out reminders about it every single week. You do have to pre-register for racing all of the month. The month of June and July is already open. If you're a season pass holder, it really doesn't harm you to go ahead and sign up for the races you're available for. If you do pay for a race and can't end up making it, we will always issue either a coupon code for re-registering on another night, or we can figure out a refund if needed. Pre-register before racing closes. We'd appreciate that. Always 24 hours in advance. Before a race starts, we are doing pre-reg online. If you're experiencing problems, complain to me later. 2 to go. Our current race leader is number 101, Kelly Darlene. She's on the blue line in the second position, right behind Ashley Hudson as we get up to speed. She's being followed and marked by, it looks like, Annette Williams following closely, as she knows exactly where her competition is at all times in this field. The leader down in the sprinters lane is Danny Scoville, the young rider in the field, one of our juniors, which she found a point earlier in the race, has not been able to find one since, but she's trying to lead things out a little bit here, maybe be in position to find something on this final sprint. Our last lap of racing tonight and our first night of June. A beautiful evening of racing, and our women will be finishing it in style with this points race. It's only 2 points that separate the leaders. Who will it be, Darlene or Williams? Down the back straight, Hudson has that lead spot once again. The rider in red, it's going to be Darlene in her draft, trying to hold on to the big speed. Annette Williams is exactly where she wants to be, right behind Darlene, and now trying to whip around the outside to take that front position. Kelly Please is also coming downhill and trying to hold on to this thing. It's Hudson, and it will be Annette Williams taking the final 10-point sprint. Darlene for 6. Hudson finds 4, I believe, with Please grabbing the 2. That should give Annette Williams the slight edge in points over Darlene for the win tonight in our women's points race. And crazy enough, that'll just about do it for us. Thank you to our fans that are still here hanging out at the Velodrome. We appreciate having you with us tonight, hanging out and watching some racing. If you had a nice time tonight, we'd love to see you again for another racing event here Friday nights. The show every week, 7 o'clock. Check your weather reports. We'll be here if it's overcast or sunny. Any rain, and we'll probably cancel, just so you know. Appreciate everybody that was on the stream checking us out. If you're still here, you must have liked it. Don't forget to leave a thumbs up, subscribe to our channels, give us a little bit of support, and let us know that you appreciate what we're doing here. From everyone here at the Velodrome, thank you so much. Our riders, our community, we so much appreciate it. We look forward to seeing you once again for more racing here at the Jerry Baker Memorial Velodrome.